Hey, sis. Thank you so much for joining me again for another Mindful Money Moment. This is Kevette Minor Kane on More Life LLC. Here is your financial liberation expert, sharing and teaching and encouraging that you can transform your mind and transform your money to thrive. It's all about understanding how our emotions affect our money management so that we're able to make better decisions and create better habits and experience a better quality of life, the quality of life that you truly desire and deserve. And so I thank you so much again for joining me here this evening. It is Dad's Week. So happy belated Father's Day. Yesterday was Father's Day. To all the fathers out there who will tune in and want to share this information with their wives, their girlfriends, their daughters, of course, and even their sons, because it is so important, the impact and the influence that a father has on a family. And so I'm going to talk about that a little bit tonight. This is a little different from my normal, we're girl talk. We're usually talking about what women love and, what's going on with us on a regular basis. But I just want to include some of the influence that helps us to be where we are and that encourages not only our education, but also our empowerment. So just talking about a few things here, I'm going to share a couple of stories with you. But understanding, that fathers are such a significant influence on their daughters. We talk about daddy's little girl and, daddy's princess, and those terms of endearment are absolutely amazing. However, a father is doing the best job when he encourages and empowers his daughter to be a strong woman so that she is able to make decisions for herself where her finances are concerned, where handling her personal life is concerned. I mean, literally, you guys know it's all 5 areas of life: our mental, our emotional, our spiritual, our physical, and our financial mindset. And then being able to manage our money so that we're handling our credit, our cash flow, our savings, our insurance, and our investments to the best of our ability. And that starts with mom, who is the primary teacher in the home, but then also with dad, who shares that role, and often takes the lead in that role, especially when you have a 2-parent household. And it's so important for us to make sure that we're remembering that dads are there and we're recognizing the importance and the significance of the role that they play in encouraging our financial education, our financial literacy, by practicing what we've learned and then encouraging and supporting our continuous financial success. And they can do that in all aspects of life. So starting from the very beginning, there are some situations where dads are able to, have the story time in the evening with the kids and to be able to, encourage them maybe with some amazing, stories about financial management. And there are some amazing children's books that we can look up and find that would be able to encourage us about our coins and our dollars and understanding our savings and how we're able to manage our money. Even talking to our kids about investing is very important from a very young age. And as they continue to grow, young women need the guidance from their fathers in order to understand how to manage their relationships when they get older. So, we think about the influence that they have on the mate that this young woman would choose and how she conducts herself or how she manages her marriage, and being able to recognize where she needs to have her own money, set to the side, and being able to work as a partner in that relationship so that they're working to manage their finances together as well. And so dads can play an essential role in helping her to know what to look for in a mate and how to frame not only her perspective, but also her actions, and being able to command the respect that she deserves in that relationship, as well as being able to be a sustainable partner, someone who would be able to contribute to the relationship on all of those levels as well, including financial finances. We know most households today run more efficiently when there are two people in the household, that rather than just a single parent having to take care of the kids on their own. Now, I've seen some conversations even earlier today where parents are talking about co-parenting, and yes, they have separate households, but they're working to parent the kids together. And I think that those arrangements are absolutely amazing when they're able to work out well. And we should definitely encourage and commend the fathers who are doing that well for their kids. We talk about something that a lot of folks, kind of shun away from in our community, and talking about child support and making sure that we are providing the income that these kids need in order to live and not just survive, but to thrive with a quality of life that is going to be elevated for them to be able to, to function well and to have a higher standard of self-worth and expectation for themselves. And so, we talk about those things as the role that fathers can have in the lives of their children, being able to encourage and influence not only their daughters, but also their sons. So it's very important that we, keep that in mind and understand not just what to do, because what to do is, take care of your kids, that's real simple. But the question is how to do it. And there is an amazing example of a father that I know who takes care of his daughters and has been training them from a very young age to manage their money and to understand even how he manages his money. He teaches them about investing, teaches them about insurance and how to manage their life insurance policies so that they're able to grow the cash value in those policies and being able to benefit from the cash value in those policies. He's got policies for each one of them so that they're able to have funds that will take care of their college education as they become of age. They won't have to go after loans. Now, if they get scholarships, that's awesome because they won't lose that money as you would in a 529, but they will be able to benefit from having that money available for whatever they choose to do. So, maybe they've got scholarships for college and now they want to use that money to start, a startup business. Now they've got capital funding available for them. And it's because this father took an opportunity to start these life insurance policies with a cash value that's growing for them from a very young age, and to be concerned about that for their best interest and for their well-being moving forward. He also has policies on himself to make sure that if something happens to him, that they will be taken care of. And that is what we call creating generational wealth. Now we as moms don't always take that role as seriously in the family, but it is also a role that we need to grasp fully. So while we're supporting dad and making sure that he's got the coverage and that he's sharing the education and knowledge with the kids that he's learning, we also want to be there to play a supporting role in that, or in even a leading role in that, to make sure that our girls and our boys know, what they need to carry forward so that they're able to be financially successful in their future. For more tips and guidance, you can also go to my website at marimorelife.com. Just follow through there, click on start here. You can start with the Mindful Money Moment Journal, where I have actually outlined both sides of the coin. And so we've got the 5 areas of mindset as well as the 5 areas of money management, where you'll be able to have an opportunity on each page to write about your current position, your current feelings, your current ideas, your current position in life, where those 5 areas are concerned on both sides of the coin. And what that does is it gives you a place to say, okay, this is where I am, because the encouragement is to start where you are, so that then you can have a foundation to grow from. And if this is not the start for you, then absolutely it is an amazing next step for you to take. And so you're able to go to marimorelife.com, click on the start button, and you'll see the ebook fall down in the menu. And so choose ebook, and you can fill out the contact form there so that you'll be able to receive a link for that free Mari Moore Life Journal ebook that you'll be able to, print out for yourself and take advantage of using that not only for yourself, but you can also use that with your children. Now, dads, you can also go to the website and make sure that you get that journal, and you can share that with your daughters, share that with your sons, so that they will be able to benefit as well from the knowledge and the encouragement that you're giving them. To make sure that they've got their finances understood, as well as that they start to manage them early. Now, if you go to the Mari Moore Life blog, then you'll find an amazing activity which describes how you're able to participate for your family even in the $1 a day challenge. And this is a savings challenge that it makes savings more fun. The whole idea behind it was, okay, savings is boring. People think about, oh, well, how much can you save and how quickly? And maybe you don't have a whole lot to put away, at one time. But if you make a game out of it and you kind of teach your kids to participate as well, then it can be a fun savings activity for the entire family. And so what you do is you would just, go to the blog, read that blog post, and be able to now put into implementation the $1 a day savings challenge. And you will learn about how compounding will support your money being able to grow at a quicker rate. And so being able to do that, now you're able to have savings, whether you choose a project or maybe even a trip or vacation that you want to take for the family, and everybody can participate in saving towards it. Or if you want to have, an event at the house or a party at the house, or even if you just want the kids to save up so that they're able to decide what they want to be able to do with their own money, or even to start a savings account for them. I know it's the most rewarding feeling for kids to be able to have an opportunity to have their own money and to make a decision for themselves about what they want to do with it. I remember, raising my boys and having an opportunity to work with them, entrepreneurially. I put them to work. They volunteered to work with me, and we had a great time. This one occasion, we did a breakfast event, a brunch event. We partnered with a local business, a friend of ours that owned the business, of course, and we were able to host this brunch. And at the time, I was running a coffee business. And so we included our coffee with every meal, and my sons acted as servers. And so they were able to serve the food. They were able to receive some tips. And it's just a small event amongst our local community with family and friends. And they were so encouraged because they were able to earn their own money from that event. And I allowed them to take an opportunity to determine how they were going to spend that. And they were able to go out and get their favorite toy. And it was one of the most rewarding things for them, because I know that what I was able to show them was that you can get what you want when you're willing to do the work for it. And that's what we have to teach our kids from a young age. And so dads, I know that you're doing that as you teach them, to handle their chores around the house, to, handle their responsibilities as you take the lead in the family, whether you're in the household or not, being able to guide them through the process of development so that they will also have that financial soundness that they need to carry them forward into a successful future. Okay, so the other side of that is, of course, being able to review with them and talk to them about managing that money. So that those 5 areas, the second half of the book identifies the 5 areas of money management, which include your cash flow, your credit, your savings, your insurance, and your investments, and kind of coming to a point where, if you sit down with them and you have this conversation, then you can write down the ideas of what they're thinking. This also provides an opportunity for you to have kind of a gauge for being able to look back, because it's not something that you just have to do one time. You can print off, once you have the link, as many copies as you want, and then you'll be able to use this. And my recommendation is each month to go through your review of how are you, reaching your goals. At the minimum, I would recommend using it at least quarterly. So that way you have a review at least 4 times a year. You're able to see, where did we start off in the beginning of the year? Where are we now at the end of the year? What did our progress look like? And, how are we moving forward in terms of accomplishing our goals? And so moms and dads alike can do this. Of course, we're highlighting some activities that dads can do in terms of taking the lead with their families tonight for Mindful Money Moments. And you can always go to, of course, More and More Life LLC in order to take advantage of those activities that are there. Read through the articles. There will be more articles printed for, how you can work with your kids, as well as curriculum coming up for children's workshop and educational programs, so that they will be able to put into practice these worksheets and activities on their own, some things that they'll need to do, but then also guided activities that you all can participate in together. Because it's not always the easiest thing. Talking about money can be very sensitive, especially if you don't feel like you have enough. And I'm not just working with, folks who, are on the upper end of the income scale, but we work with families at every income level. Because what I want you to really understand is that wealth is not just about how much you make, but it's about how you make your money work for you. What can you do in order to get your money to grow? Where do you put it? How do you spend it? When do you save it? How much do you save? Looking at all of those different aspects and being able to come up with a clear plan, and then be able to take action, because now you've got the confidence to know not only what to do, but how to do it. And being able to execute that is absolutely the most significant thing. So, when we talk here, I normally have guests who will come on with me, and we talk about, what are the steps for, how we can do these things. And so I want to share with you myself this evening 3 steps that I would recommend you taking in order to take, move yourselves forward on the next stage of your journey to self-sufficiency. So dads, the first thing that you can do with the kids is to establish a routine. And that is on the mindset side, having a daily routine that you all are able to participate in, or that you're able to encourage them to have, so that they're able to feel less stress in their lives. When we're stressed out, our money management decisions don't always end up being the best. And so we want to make sure that we are relaxed, that we can feel encouraged, that we're able to, put everything in perspective and continue to flow and to grow. Because we want our cash to flow, right? We want it to flow to us easily, and we want to be able to release it so that we can take care of what's necessary. And even, to provide the things that we want, the things that we desire in life. And that's what it's all about. That's where the quality comes in. So that's the first step, is to create a routine. The second step, of course, is what I've already talked about in terms of making those, assessments, understanding where you currently are, in your thinking about, your mindset, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual, the physical, as well as the financial. If you haven't already been having those conversations, this book right here is an absolutely excellent resource for that. You would be able to go and just, there's a conversation starter at the top of each page. And so you just can read that off, and you all can answer those conversation starters together, or those questions together, so that you're able to understand, how are they thinking and feeling about money, and it will also bring to your attention, how are you acting and speaking about money? Because that is where the influence comes in. They're watching your behaviors, and you're going to influence not only their money mindset, but also their money story. What are they going to say when they get older and they're looking back over their financial history, and they're saying, oh, my parents thought about money in this way, or my parents thought about money in that way. And that's going to be a determining factor for them being able to have a healthy relationship with money. Oftentimes we ourselves as parents don't have the greatest relationship with money. And so we got to work on that first, so that we're able to pass on that healthiness to our kids, that wellness, that wealthy mindset, that we know that they need to have in order to build the success that that we desire for them. And we want them, in most cases, parents want their kids to do better than they have in their lives. And so this is an opportunity for us to start that ball rolling, to get that snowball accumulated and to continue to see the compound effect. And hopefully it'll be, almost like an avalanche snowball, if that's even a thing, when they get old enough, where they're able to manage the money for themselves. And we talk about trust funds and, the investments and how you're able to structure those things for the kids. And that is where the third step comes in. So the third step, of course, is going to be for you to seek financial advice. And of course, again, you can go to marimorelife.com and you can visit my booking page and schedule a 15-minute clarity connection. During that clarity connection, we can talk about what is the most pertinent thing to you. What is the most important financial topic that you'd like to discuss or to work on in your process? And as you're, working with yourself as well as your family, subsequently, then you would be able to put into perspective by getting professional advice on, what does the big picture look like? Because it's kind of overwhelming for us, of course, if we're not fully educated, to take that on by ourselves. You can kind of end up like a deer in the headlights, and you just kind of sit there and you're like, okay, what do I do? Where do I get started? How's that happen? Well, for free, you've got 15 minutes with me so that we can just discuss and identify where your greatest need is, and even some of the steps that you can start to take forward. And then determining whether or not you want to work further with me through one of my programs. You can come to a seminar or workshop, and you can also find those online to be able to, book your next opportunity to take advantage of an educational, financial education opportunity, so that you're now able to increase your confidence as you have that conversation with your kids as well as with your spouse. And so, being able to build up your financial stability and your financial strength. Now, the other side of that coin is that there's, a friend of mine who her father passed away. And, and we hear this story, so often. Unfortunately, when her dad passed away, he didn't have a life insurance policy, and in that process, it was very challenging for the family to have to pull together the funds that were necessary. I know even for myself, when my dad passed away, we had to set up a GoFundMe initially, and it was not only challenging in terms of not having the money that we needed to set up that policy, or to take care of his final affairs the way that we wanted to, freely from the start. But it was also embarrassing, not to have that money, and then not to really receive the support that we needed, and having to go into retirement funds in order to, or long-term savings in order to pay for that and take the financial hit in that area. And that's the thing, when you have a life insurance policy in place, then you're able to make sure that your family, even if you don't leave them a legacy of, an immense wealth, at least you will not leave them a legacy of debt. And that is absolutely essential. Because in the Black community, it is, it's less often than we're able to even leave $10,000 as an inheritance to our kids. And that is where the racial wealth gap comes into play. And we've got to make a difference where that's concerned and continue to move forward. In other communities, there are opportunities that are being taken and education that's being shared on a regular basis. And that's something that we need to continue to do. The movement has started, where the financial education in the Black community is absolutely moving forward and being increased. And this is another effort in taking those steps forward so that we're able to make sure that that wealth gap does no longer exist, and that we are able to contribute to our family stability and not creating an additional hardship. When you lose someone in death, it is hard enough to experience that tragedy. But then it's a tragedy, a second tragedy all over again when you realize the cost of what it's going to be in order for you to give that person an honorable burial, to respect them in their death, and really to respect them to the community, to show the love and the concern that you had for that individual, whether it's your father, your grandfather, your uncle, your brother, whoever it might be, but being able to show that, their life was not in vain, that they worked for something, and that, they were important to you, and that you all loved and cared for them. And the way that we're able to do that, and it doesn't have to be, the most elaborate, most expensive, but again, there's quality that we want to be concerned with, and making sure that we're providing for our families what we believe that they deserve as a higher standard of quality, because that is love, and it doesn't mean that, you've got to be rich in order to do that. What you've got to do though, or what you've got to be, is prepared. And so it's taking those first steps to, make sure that you've got a plan in place so that your family will be able to benefit during a time of loss, so that they will be able to recuperate during that time of great loss, and so that they will be able to not only survive, but to thrive. And so you ask, of course, hearing about my experience, my father passed away just a few years ago, which really shifted me into this transition and being able to create this platform through MariMoreLife.com, where I'm able to share with you a mindful money moment, and being able to give the encouragement so that you don't experience the same tragedy that I have already experienced. And why I tell you not just what to do, but the how to do it, because taking those steps is absolutely essential. And so if you have an opportunity, you're seeing this video on replay, go back and, review the other episodes of the program so that you're able to take notes. Have a notebook, create your own, get a loose leaf notebook or a spiral notebook where you've got mindful money moment on it. And for each program, you just take notes about what you're going to do moving forward and taking steps. I have some amazing guests from both the mindset side with, therapists and empowerment coaches, speakers and authors, those who have done the work in terms of getting educated, as well as doing the work on their own in their experience, for understanding how essential and how important it is for us to shift our mindset and to reset our mindset so that we're able to benefit ourselves in the decisions that we make and the habits that we create. And then on the other side, I have other financial advisors and professionals who come onto the program. Maybe you don't click with me, personally. It happens. I'm not going to be everybody's best friend. I understand that, but that's why I provide access to those other advisors, so that if you find somebody that comes on my program and you feel a special connection with them, with their story, with their advice, with the encouragement that they give you, reach out to them, and connect with them. Because the most important thing is that you take the steps, do the work, make the activity a reality for you, so that you're able to live the reality of your dreams, or create the reality of your dreams through your planning and then taking action moving forward. But don't just sit around and listen and say, yeah, that's good. That's right. That's what you should. No, take notes, take action. This is not just about sitting around sipping some tea. We have talked, or you have listened to so many programs in the years that have gone by. And if this is your first introduction, then let's start on the good foot. Let's get started with action so that you're able to not lose any of the time that you have that is so valuable, because that is our greatest asset. Our greatest asset is the time that we have on this planet, the existence that we can live. And what you choose to do with that time is so encouraging and can end up being so amazing, in the end, when folks are able to look back and say, oh, you know what? That dad did this for their family, or that brother did this for his siblings, or that son did this for his parents. Being able to make sure that you've got things taken care of beforehand is being prepared. Okay. Because The key is the success is in the strategy, and the fortune is in the follow-up. So the success is in the strategy and the fortune is in the follow-up. It's making sure that you set up your strategy so that you've got a foundation to build up from. And then you want to make sure that you are taking an opportunity to review that strategy on a regular basis, at the minimum annually. Remember, I've said it before, but I'm going to encourage you again. You want to see your financial advisor just like you see your doctor, at least once a year. And if there's a problem, then of course you go in and you ask questions so that you can get the information that you need, so that you can provide the remedy for that situation and make sure that you continue to maintain your financial health. And there are financial advisors among the array, just like doctors. We talk about the primary care, who would be your financial planner, your basic financial advisor, your family planner. And then we have those who are specialists, those who are analysts, and those who are realtors, and those who are, mortgage loan brokers, and those who are insurance agents and investment managers. We're looking at all of those different areas of how to manage our money. Bankers. If you don't have a banker and an investment manager and a realtor and a mortgage broker, if you're owning a home, or even if you're thinking about owning a home, you need to talk to these people so that you can find out what do you need to do in order to be prepared. That's setting up your strategy, getting your plan together before you're able to go out and take action. Because what happens is, if you don't have a plan, then you lack the confidence that you would need in order to move forward effectively. And so my encouragement is that you would continue to take in the knowledge and to put forth the effort to do the activity as necessary to make sure that you will accomplish your financial goals and achieve the financial success, not only that you desire, but that you absolutely deserve. And so, I'm going to wrap up this evening and just, say to take a mindful money moment, with your family, dads. You guys are doing a great job. You have contributed, obviously, to your family even existing. And so, contributing to their success is just the next step in the process. And as you do that, I'm hoping that you will find some tools here that will benefit you at MariMoreLife.com. Feel free to go through the website. If you have questions or concerns or interest, feel free to send an email message to support@MariMoreLife.com. And you can reach out to me at MariMoreLife on IG or on FB, on Facebook. And of course, remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel so that way you'll be notified when I have more information available for you as to how you can support your family with their financial success and continue moving forward progressively. So I thank you so much for joining me this evening. My name again is Kevette Minor Kane. I am your financial liberation expert at Mari More Life LLC. And this was another Mindful Money Moment. Have a great week, dads. Happy Father's Day.